Hello, we are in North Laguna today. We are bringing you the best of the people and places that make coastal Orange County a great place to live and work. And I am honored to be here with Julie Laughton today. We are standing, as I said, in North Laguna. This is one of those, the epitome of kind of coastal, at least Laguna Beach, right? With these 1930s, 1920s cottages.
Yes, the classic cottage.
Yeah, there's I mean, if you pan around, Steve, there's only a few left. I mean, you know, you can see, I mean, there's one here across the way, but this one that we're gonna take, we're so lucky to tour through, is a vintage product, or remodel, as you see the banner here. House that was built in the 30s?
It's built in the 30s, and the original owner is my client's father, and she's going to hand it down to her daughter, so it's going to stay in the family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love these stories, and you know, so obviously I'm in real estate, but this house will not be for sale. It's going to stay in the family forever. This is a lifestyle play. We want to talk about, you know, Julie actually has a great background and, you know, likes to focus on like that concierge service like we do, right? So
total 5-star.
Design, contracting, everything from soup to nuts.
And it's 5-star, one-stop shop with me. I do your architectural planning, your interior design, your custom kitchens, and then the licensed general contracting all as one person. So it's kind of unique because I can do the one-stop shop for people and eliminate all the stress.
I mean, that's the key, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because let's be frank, this is never easy for
remodels
anyone.
are never easy. They're never easy. It's a stressful process. It ranks up with death and marriage, not to be frank, but it's probably the most stressful thing you can do. And even if you're building your new home, oh my God, you got to deal with 10 people. So it's a lovely process, but it takes a lot of work.
Well, I thought that, you know, the great reason for us to connect is that we always have clients that are, you know, they'll look at a house and they'll say, oh, it needs so much work. And I actually kind of like weirdly geek out on design. I think I should.
You can see it.
Yeah, I can, and I love it. I mean, I spent,
that's a talent.
You know, going through, you know, design magazines, and well, not now it's all internet based.
Right,
so like
they had that visualization, because that's like me. I walk in the door and I know what it's going to look like before it's done, so it helps if you have that. And the clients usually struggle with that. So if you can see it, then it starts to plan. It makes it easier.
That's exactly right.
And it makes the process easier, because the process is the same. You know, it's a process. But.
Right. Well, you just got started in this business, right?
Yeah, 30 years ago. I've been standing in the dirt since I was 21. My first job was in New York City with the 5 top developers in a row. And I've been standing in the dirt working in this business for actually 40 years, but yeah.
The key to that, I mean, it's really, really important, especially here coastal, but probably the most important in Laguna Beach. I mean, it's who you know. You have to be familiar with the design review board. You have to, you literally have to know the people.
At the counter, I go to the counter more than any other architect and contractor because I'm hands-on. So if you know your people, then you can communicate properly. And if you know your plans and know what you're doing, it makes it so much more efficient. And
yeah, because Laguna has a bad reputation for, you know, people try and avoid
well, that's just
doing this stuff in Laguna like the plague. But if you know what you're doing and you're working with the right person, you can get it done properly. So.
Yeah, it's an easy process if you just kind of follow the rules, but you got to know what you're doing up front. And like all my subs are with me for 10, 20, and 30 years. I don't switch around like other people. I keep the same people. I have the employees are 0 turnover, like literally 0. So that's another unique thing, and I like it that way because we're a team. You know, we're a tried and true team. There's no guesswork anytime with me. That
is super impressive. And I can't say enough how important that is.
It's
because
really
we work with a lot of contractors, and we've done a ton of remodels in the last, 5 years. And especially since COVID has struck, that,
I don't know what their problem is, but I didn't change anything and my guys didn't go anywhere, so I don't get that labor shortage because, if you have people, you have people.
That's right.
That's
right.
And that's my secret, because I shine compared to the other ones, because most people jump around and switch. I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
And we've seen horror stories where, you give someone a $5,000 deposit and the next day they're gone, and then you're stuck. You're out the money. You got to go find someone else.
Yes.
And there's no one else these days. So huge. I mean,
yes,
so
there's nightmare stories.
Yeah. Have your own team, have the experience. Obviously very easy to talk to and work with. So, I mean, no wonder you've been so successful.
Well, I love what I do. I have a passion and I have a kind of natural born talent. I was born with the artistic talent, so you can't, that comes with it. But my experience and my tried and true, let's do it right the first time. And honesty, I'm sorry, I'm from Iowa. I just believe in working straight and a handshake deal. And I do what I say I'm going to do, and I do it on time, and I do it on budget. And I have a team that's tried and true. And that really is the support team is what makes me shine, because I am a little one-man show, I should say, one female show, but there's a team under there.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, we love working with family businesses. I work in a family business.
Right.
And I grew up in a family business. I grew up in the food business, weirdly enough, but
I love that food. That's why you have the nice food pictures. I'm a total foodie. My grandpa was a chef. I love food. I love cooking.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have this weird creative thing. I mean, I was actually a banker for 25 years, but underneath I had this creative thing my whole life, and it was like design, food, anything like creative like that.
I love it.
I can't draw a stick figure to save my life.
But you still are creative, and then you have that little techie side, which is good, because some people don't have both sides. So
exactly. Well, and I have Steve, so
that helps.
So let's do this. Let's walk through. I'm super excited.
Yep.
And as we're walking through, you were explaining that the one thing that really needed to remain intact was this Japanese garden.
Yes, the homeowner's father did this garden, and according to the neighbors who still are living here that knew him, he was out here every single day. He would bless the garden and talk to his garden, but it's the original Japanese garden. He did all the work himself. So what I'm going to do is take this stonework and continue it down the old driveway, because we have a new driveway in the back.
Okay.
So anyway, you come up here and you kind of see how he has all the rocks, the granite rocks, classic Japanese garden.
Yes.
Then he's got crystals everywhere. He's got a little bridge that goes over the fountain. Of course, the fountain is not full because we're careful about the mosquitoes and whatnot, but we're watering and tending to the yard throughout construction. So I always hose it off and keep the dust off of it, because it's important, we're maintaining it for the homeowner.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right, in a construction site. I mean, again, it's great that you have your own team. You've worked together for decades, and you tell them, hey, don't trample this garden. This needs to be intact.
Well, and the thing is, they have the typical gardener that shows up every 2 weeks to do what? Trim a couple bushes. So we've actually taken it back a little better, and we do a better job than the typical just gardener that shows up to mow and trim.
Right.
So we have a little more care involved, and that's part of our concierge service, is to do the gardening, take care of the pool while we're on site. No outsiders allowed in, just our team.
Oh, okay.
Keeps the security good for everybody.
That's great. So you pause all the other services.
Oh, yeah.
Take care of everything.
Yes, we do it because we want to keep it secure and safe. Insurance has rules, and we just don't want any headaches with outsiders that we don't know.
That's great. That's great. I actually haven't heard that before. And normally you go to a construction site and the yard and the garden's just completely...
It's trash.
It's trash, yeah.
And that's me. I don't know if it's just because I'm a female, but I keep my job super neat because that's how I live.
Right.
That when I walk in my house, it has to be neat.
I don't know. Say that I do know some OCD guys, but that is definitely a female trait.
I kind of grew up with the OCD father and family, but I'm born this way. I mean, I was born organized. I guess my sister was unorganized, and I'm organized. It's a trait. So anyway.
So about how many square feet are we talking?
1,200 square feet.
1,200, okay.
And then we have the little master bedroom in the back, which is actually added on by the homeowner in the 80s. But the original cottage is 1,200 square feet.
Okay.
And so nothing is new on the layout here except that we vaulted the ceilings to follow the original roof line. And boy, what a difference did that make, because this used to be a porch with a low ceiling, and this was all straight across low ceiling. So we just blew it out and put in the vaulted ceiling, which will have a nice white T&G and some fake beams in there when it's done. And then we're keeping the original Doug fir floors, which is a dark red. And then we're going to just refinish those and add more Doug fir in the back where it wasn't. Yeah. And so that's the original flooring. And the original old roof is the only thing maintained, and the rest is all new, because code-wise we need new structural and new footings, and new 2x4 walls would be good, because the old walls were 1x. So we changed out the walls to the 2x4.
I mean, just vaulting the ceiling probably feels like you doubled the size of this.
It's totally doubled. Whenever you do that, you double the volume. But in here, it was magnificent. And then I vaulted the bedrooms, which weren't vaulted before, and that made a huge difference too.
Oh, I'm sure.
So now it's just so charming.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the board and batten outside and inside. So every wall of this house is wood. Outside, it's actually concrete board, the hardy siding, and then the inside's wood. So everything will be that wood, board and batten, white painted with the dark floor, which matches the original hutch from 1930 that the father built, which is a mahogany color like the Doug fir.
Right.
So it kind of just ties in magically.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So 1930, it's almost 100 years old.
It is. Yeah. That's just it.
Do you have any of the original photos that we could like?
Yes, we do.
Drop
we have
a couple
ton.
of like the performance.
Yes, we have.
We
all
won't have the afters. Well, we're going to come back and do this when it's done. I'd love to see the completed
Exactly.
project.
We'll be done in August. So
Okay.
you can come back then and I'll get you all the before shots. And yeah, we keep an archive of everything.
Awesome.
So,
that's going to be amazing. So standing in the great room, basically.
Great room,
family.
a sofa here, a couple chairs, fireplace, original wood burner. We're not touching it. It has a beautiful river rock face. Some of the rocks from the garden are on there.
Grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in because we're not touching it. And I think you can see it. Yeah, there's the rocks.
Oh, cool. So you're going to just embrace that and just bring that as part of it.
I'm going to put a nice new thick mahogany mantle on there that has a little traditional style because we're kind of keeping with the traditional theme. Then you come over here and then there's a huge banquette under all these windows with a nice long 8-foot farm table.
Oh, cool.
And then the kitchen starts here with the kitchen sink with the window looking out over the backyard where the new garage is. Mm-hmm. And then we're keeping the original cabinet that the homeowner's father also built. And the cool thing about these cabinets is that this was an icebox or a place for fruit. There's a vent at the bottom for the fresh air.
No way.
So it's one of the old school sort of refrigeration and, things used back then. But we're keeping this intact, but we'll repaint it, but we're keeping it and putting a new marble top on it. And then the kitchen continues with a bar sink under the window, a nice vintage blue, a turquoise blue stove from Big Chill, and then a refrigerator over here, and then this is all pantry over here.
That's crazy. So this kitchen is going to wrap around.
It's going to wrap around, take up the
sinks here.
Yep.
Ranges over there.
Big pantry. Panel front refrigerator. This beautiful turquoise blue Big Chill refrigerator with a matching hood, so it gives that vintage look. Bam. And then again, the floor is still dark mahogany underneath it with all white walls. And then the white sink with the faucet right there. And so you can kind of do two things in this kitchen.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
What is this wall?
Just a plain art wall or just board and batten.
Yeah.
Because you're going to walk. You're going to walk straight up to the sink. There's no room for cabinetry there. It's just an art wall.
Right.
And then we have our underground, like you see all the original stuff, but there's a ton added, to structurally fit it. Then we have a little pocket door that takes you into the laundry room and the master bathroom, which is the master suite. So now we have a Dutch door that goes to the back and the master suite, which is cute and pretty good because it fits a king size bed. So the king size bed fits between the windows. I had to move the windows to make the bed fit. And then I built in all these closets around the window with another closet here. So they have a wall of closets. And that's the original vaulted ceiling from the 80s. So we're just keeping it and painting it white.
Cool. It looks new.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It literally does.
Yep. And all new can lighting. So we kind of surgically got those in. You can see a couple boards were replaced, but, and then this French door will walk down 3 steps to the new green grass yard because the client just got a new puppy for their new life, and he'll have a place to run around the backyard and the side here, and then he's kind of has his own little area, and then the rest of the backyard is the new garage with a new driveway to the alley.
What is this, a doggy door?
This is no, that's the electrical panel, but it probably will need to put one in for them, right? Because they need it somewhere, but that's what everybody asks. But the electrical panel's going there.
Got it.
That's funny. We'll actually need a doggy door. That's funny.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this is cool. What a cool project.
It is so fun. It's the story behind it is what I like, because every one of my projects seems to have a story, and it's the human factor that makes it wonderful for me to help people with their remodels.
Steve, do you want to pan this way and just watch your step right here at the threshold?
This is the original balcony that used to have a little dining table on it, so we're going to rebuild it. And then you just go down, and then there's the door to the garage and the driveway.
Cool. We
just poured concrete. It's fresh.
And then earlier when we were chatting, out the side and the front, you actually have an ocean view. Today
yes, you do. There's ocean view from all of the windows. You can see through the front of this. This is the only thing. I don't know how this house got built, but it blocks the ocean view that they used to have here. But the front of the house has the ocean view all the way.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
We have. It's early in the morning, and it's a gray May day.
Gray May. Yeah, gray May.
So leading into the June gloom, but
yep.
Anyway, there is an ocean view. It is a beautiful vintage cottage. Oh, I love.
See, we did the glass tile to make it kind of fun and fresh. So take a peak, and
I love it.
And I like to do the fancy marble borders on the floors with the marble tile. We're going to do herringbone in here. The other bathroom has hexagon. But I just like to really jazz up the tile patterns and these little, like little crystal gems, these cottages. So I just give a little extra attention to the detail.
That's funny you say that because it's actually near and dear to my heart. I love hex. Like hex on bathroom tile.
I think it's just classic. It takes me right back.
I like small hex. I like big hex.
Yeah.
But I love hex.
It just takes you back to vintage.
It
I don't know.
does.
It reminds me of a bathroom in New York City in a vintage building.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. But that color, Steve,
It's
you
my
got
ocean blue.
That's like the color of the hat that I just gave you. The stitching.
Well, there you go. And then the stove is the same color.
Yeah.
We're sticking with that blue, ocean blue theme.
Yeah, it's a coastal vibe, right?
Yep,
So
it is. And
it's
then all she has to do for decorating is white furniture and blue pillows.
Right.
You know, that's about it.
just super
Yeah, so
fresh
simple.
and clean.
Blue and white.
Coastal. It's all about coastal living.
Yep. It's fun.
So awesome. Yeah, Steve, you're not going to be able to get it, but
There's a great view.
I mean, I can see it with my eyes, but with the camera, it's going to be tough to pull in.
It might be tough.
Yeah, so we're only 2 blocks away from the beach,
Yep.
basically.
You can walk to the beach or everybody's favorite Chinese restaurant on the corner.
Banner King?
Yeah, Mandarin King, our favorite lunch spot.
I DoorDashed it last night.
I go there and they give me extra fried chicken.
Yeah. I love it. Well, this is awesome. Actually, one last question because it was stuck in my mind, but I didn't get a chance. You said faux beams. What are they going to look like?
So we'll just do a 4x6 beam because the TNG is going to run just like it does with the roof. See how the roof runs this way?
Yeah.
So we're going to run the TNG a long way, but I need some beams to break it up. So I'll have 2 beams on the ceiling just to break up the length of the TNG. Just little 4x6 boxes of wood.
Like white?
White, yeah,
Okay,
white, all white. I'm not
Everything
bringing any dark into the ceiling. Everything's white on white board on batten, white beams, white TNG, just crystally beautiful, magical white.
Yeah.
Pristine.
So you're gonna bring the color in with mahogany on the fireplace, which is gonna tie with the original
and the
cabinetry
floor.
and the floor. Yeah,
and it really will look like the original floor because we're literally refinishing it and then patching it in the back. But
you said Douglas fir.
yes, Doug fir.
So is it like 2-3?
It's a 3-inch Doug
3-inch,
fir,
yeah.
and it's the original. And it's not as soft as you think, because a lot of times it's softer. This one's a little darker. I don't know. It's better. So it doesn't have the dings in it like the other ones. It's in pristine condition.
Wow.
It's been carpeted for 70 years.
So it'll be fairly easy for you to match. I mean,
Yes,
yeah.
we're not worried about it. We got the new wood here. It's acclimating itself. And then we got master stainer finishers that'll match the color. So I work with some really great flooring people. All my guys are kind of craftsmen and artists.
Mm-hmm.
My painters are artists, cabinet finisher artists, cabinet makers. I've known him 30 years. He builds these cabinets right here locally. So that's my little secret. It's my really high-end custom cabinets that are...
Don't tell your secrets.
Yeah.
It's not a secret because thousands of people are going to watch
quality. I like quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I get it made locally.
Well, this was super fun. There's no coincidence. Everybody meets for a reason.
Yes.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
It really fits into the whole coastal lifestyle stuff that we're doing.
I know, and I love Laguna, and I also work in Balboa Peninsula, and there's something about this little coastline here. It's a lot of history. I just love it. I feel, I love working in the area.
Same.
Yeah.
Laguna, Dana. I'm crazy about Dana. I mean,
It's
I think that
kind
it's
of vintage in its own way, and
San Clemente,
it just needs to, it's a lot to be done there still. And
I did a whole video series on it, and I'm doing more because I'm trying constantly to tell people when they're tripped out that Crystal Cove's going for $3,000 a square foot.
Well, right.
I'm like,
there's nothing. That whole section down there is everything's affordable, and it's right there. I mean, and you got the ocean views. It's the same. So why aren't more people buying down there? I don't know.
And the new marina project is insane. What they're going to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I mean,
it's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
So, but I love it all the way along the coast. I personally haven't done much on the water where you're talking about, Balboa, that area. We actually do have a listing right now in Balboa, but
good.
Yeah, it's I like to focus here where I live.
Well, it's better to focus where you live, of course, and Laguna is just kind of its own little enclave. Laguna is special. It's different than any other beach town on the whole coast to me.
Yeah.
And then Newport's kind of classic, and it's a whole nother. They're like night and day in a way, They're different, but I happen to work in both, but Laguna's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks for your time. It was such a pleasure, spotlighting what you're doing, and I can't wait to come back here in August.
Yep, in August. Yep, or September 1st. Right after the summer's over, just come on over and it'll all be done.
Okay, sounds
I don't know
good.
if it'll be furnished, but it'll be done.
Yeah, well, it's probably
that's where it
awesome.
takes a minute, because
Right. Do you help with that's before
I'm
we
an
go?
interior designer. I have an architectural background. That's where I started my college degree. I have mechanical engineering, and then I also did custom kitchen and bathroom for years. So I have the ability to do the decorating. My clients usually like to do it themselves, so it's always kind of we decide as we go, but I am equipped to do the full turnkey down to the dishes and the toothbrush if you want.
Right.
But a lot of ladies want to do it themselves, or maybe they have a friend that's a designer, so I'm flexible, but I do provide the full service from the architectural plans and I hire my own engineers, so it's all in-house for the client, and I go to the city myself. So the whole process from A to Z is one-stop shop. But some ladies like to do their own decorating. But
well, the reason I ask about the furniture, because these days, ever since COVID, I mean, getting sourcing stuff. So a lot of people. I mean, the tough part is if you're doing a project like this, you want to build custom. There's a lead time.
There's a lead time,
and even if you're ordering from restoration these days, there's a lead time.
There's a lead time on everything, and the appliances are still a little tricky. Some of the sofa and the factories, because a lot of things are still made out of the country, so you're stuck anyway. But then you add the extra problem with COVID. So we like to order early or just really plan ahead, because I haven't had any delays yet. Because I plan ahead and we buy everything day one. Mm-hmm. So far I've not had a problem even through COVID, but there is a couple things lingering that are problems. But I haven't.
So it's about planning. It's about experience. It's about
do it ahead, plan ahead. Everything should be done the day you pull your permit and start your construction. Nothing should be decided after that moment.
Right.
That's where the headaches begin and the cost.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, great way to wrap it up. Thanks for everything. Can't wait to come back in August.
Yes, thank you, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
See you later.
All right.